All right, let's talk about gold and silver. I mean, you hear about them all the time, right? But what's the real story? Today, we're going to cut through all the hype and give you the essential framework for really understanding these two powerful assets.
You've seen the headlines. I know you have. One day, it's gold hits record highs. The next, some expert is saying it's way too expensive. And then you hear that silver is about to absolutely explode. It's a total whirlwind, and honestly, it feels designed to make you anxious, like you're either missing out or about to make a huge mistake.
So what's really going on here? How do you separate the actual signal from all of that noise? Well, that is exactly what this explainer is all about, giving you a clear, practical way to think about it.
And we're going to do it in 5 simple steps. First, we'll get you thinking beyond those crazy headlines. Then we're going to completely reframe what these assets actually are. After that, we'll dive into the 4 key things that make their prices move. We'll unpack the crucial difference between gold and silver, and finally, we'll lay out the playbook for the patient investor.
So here's the first trap pretty much everyone falls into. They only start paying attention to gold and silver when the headlines are screaming at them. But you know what that is? That's reactive, emotional thinking. We're going to build our foundation on understanding, not on panic.
Okay, let's get to the single most important idea in this entire explainer. And I mean it. This is a complete mindset shift. I need you to stop thinking about gold and silver as shiny metals and start thinking of them as a form of financial insurance.
So what do we mean by financial insurance? It's actually pretty simple. It's all about protecting your purchasing power. You have to remember, long before we had stocks or even paper money, these metals were the money. Their job today isn't to make you rich overnight, it's to make sure the wealth you already have doesn't just silently disappear over time.
Think about it this way. 20 or 30 years ago, $1,000 bought you a whole lot more than it does today, right? It's not that everything just got more expensive, it's that the dollar itself got weaker. So when you see the price of gold go up over decades, you're not just seeing gold get more valuable, you're literally watching the value of the dollar go down.
Okay, so if their main job is to preserve your value, what causes all those headline-grabbing price swings? Well, it usually comes down to 4 key drivers that smart investors are always watching.
First up is inflation. When the value of money is falling, people naturally run to assets like gold to protect what they have. Second, interest rates. See, when rates are low, keeping your money in cash earns you next to nothing, which makes an asset like gold, which doesn't pay interest, suddenly look a lot more attractive. Third, and this is a big one, global uncertainty. You know, things like wars, banking crisis, economic trouble. It all pushes people towards safety. And finally, there's just good old-fashioned demand and supply for everything from jewelry to all kinds of industrial uses.
Now we get to the big practical question. Gold or silver or maybe both? Well, here's a little secret. Serious investors don't really see them as competitors. Nope, they see them as 2 completely different tools for 2 very different jobs.
And here is the core difference. Gold, that's your protection. It's stable, it tends to move slowly, its main purpose is to be a defensive shield for your wealth. Silver, on the other hand, that's your opportunity. It is much more volatile. It moves fast, both up and down, and that offers the potential for much higher returns. But it also comes with a lot more risk.
Now, a big reason for silver's wild ride is that it's kind of living a double life. It isn't just an investment. It's a critical industrial commodity. I mean, it's in the phone you're probably holding right now. It's in the solar panels powering our future. And it's in the electric vehicles popping up on our roads. This industrial demand adds a whole other layer to its price, making it a completely different beast than gold.
Okay, so now we have the knowledge. We know what these things are, and we know why they move. But you know, knowledge without the right mindset, it's pretty much useless. This final section is all about how to think, not just what to know.
So let's be perfectly crystal clear about this. If you are looking for some kind of get-rich-quick scheme, you are absolutely in the wrong place. That is not what these assets are for. Period.
Instead, think of gold and silver as tools to help you stay financially stable over decades. They're about peace of mind. They're about preserving what you've built, no matter what the economy decides to throw at you.
And that means you have to avoid the classic mistakes. Don't buy something just because you saw a scary headline. Don't check the price every single day expecting it to act like a tech stock. And most importantly, please never, ever put all of your savings into any one single asset. Diversification is your friend.
And that really brings us to the core takeaway of this whole thing. The goal is to shift your mindset from chasing prices based on emotion to making moves based on understanding. In this world, patience and discipline are what truly, truly pay off.
And so that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Now that you have this framework, are you going to fall back into the old habit of chasing the headlines? Or are you going to use this understanding to make patient, informed decisions about your own financial future? The choice, as always, is yours.